in Kumbh Mela at Prayagraj Dham. So unable to start video, and I'll request devotees also they could switch off their videos. Then the transmission will be more easier and better. Otherwise, it may create some kind of a disturbance in our class today. So thank you all for your understanding and cooperation. So yesterday we were discussing the wonderful different opulences which Lord was speaking, that how He's a cause and is the essence of everything what is mentioned. So Lord is a cause and essence of everything. So 14 different things we saw where we were hearing uh, Bhumi Rapo, sorry, mm, रसोहम अपसु कौन्तेय प्रभास्मि शशिचूर्यो प्रणवा सर्ववेदेषु शब्दखे पौरुषम नृषु then पुण्यो गंधः पृथिव्यां च तेजश्चास्मि विभावसो जीवनम सर्वभूतेषु तपश्चास्मि तपस्विषु. Further he says, Bijam mam sarvabhutanam viddhi partha sanatam buddhir matam asmi tejas tejasvinam. And the last one we saw, that is balam balavatam chaham kama raga vivarjitam dharma viruddha bhuteshu kamosmi bharatvarsha. So in this 14 different items, what Krishna has mentioned here, different articles, they are here we get to see how Krishna is the cause of that, and Krishna is also the essence of that. So Krishna being the cause and Krishna being the essence, they all are coming from Krishna. And how we can see Krishna through his energies everywhere when we see all these different aspects of Krishna around. Just like Prabhupada would say that if you are visiting my office or my room, and if you see, if I am not there, then you may see my spectacle, you may see my cane, or you may see my shoes there. But that everything gives you understanding, oh, this is Prabhupada's shoes, this is Prabhupada's cane, this is Prabhupada's spectacle. So it reminds you of Prabhupada. So similarly, Krishna is all pervasive and he is essence of everything. He is a cause and essence of everything. Having said both that he is a cause and essence, now Krishna will be summarizing that how these all items are within the three modes of material nature. And Krishna is a controller of that. Krishna is in full control. So now Krishna is speaking the 12th verse that Krishna is beyond the mode. ये चैव सात्विका भावा राजसास्तामसाश्च ये मत्त एवेति तान् विद्धि न त्वहं तेषु ते मयि. Would like to read translation? Yes, Mohit Prabhu.
Know that all states of being, be they of goodness, passion, or ignorance, are manifested by my energy. I am in one sense everything, but I am independent. I am not under the modes of material nature, for they, on the contrary, are within me.
Yeah. So Krishna explained all these different 14 things where we could see Krishna is the cause and principle. But now Krishna is saying that know that all state of being, be they in goodness, passion, or ignorance, are manifested by my energy only. So these all different things what Krishna mentioned, they are belonging to one of the category that is either goodness or passion or ignorance. And they all are manifested by Krishna only. So everything is coming from Krishna. But Krishna is saying, I am independent. I am not in that. I am not under the control of the material modes. In fact, the material modes are under him. So this is a very important aspect because we understand why the people in general they are not able to understand Krishna because of this simple reason. Of course, for us it is simple because Prabhupada made it very simple. But people they see Krishna, and Krishna himself also says in Bhagavad Gita, Avajananti ma mudha manushim tamam ashrita. When he comes in the form of a human being, then people are unable to understand him. Why? Why? Because they see, अरे इनको भी दो हाथ पर है, हमें भी दो हाथ पर है. He also speak the same thing. I also speak the same thing. That's what Duryodhana saw. Duryodhana saw, "Arey, this Krishna is a Yadu, and this fellow is trying to impress me by showing his Virat roop. So I'll make sure that he is caught up now. I am not ready to fight, but I will. I am not ready to make any peace. But now I will catch him." That's how he told his all people that, "अरे इसको पकड़ लो, ये मायावी है." So Krishna is beyond three modes of material nature, and to understand is very important. If you don't understand that Krishna is telling himself, then we will not be able to understand Krishna. So Krishna is Nirguna because Krishna is the origin of modes, not within the modes of three, and therefore is Nirguna. Mhm. So Nirguna means not affected by modes, not that he doesn't have any gun. So this is the wrong understanding what the people they take it. They say that Nirgun मतलब भगवान के गुण नहीं, निराकार मतलब भगवान कोई आकार नहीं. नहीं, Lord does not have material qualities. Lord doesn't have material form. That is the right understanding given by the acharyas. So Nirguna, as you see in the material this diagram, all material activities are conducted under the three modes of material nature. Under Krishna, all activities, whatever we are seeing, everything in the whole creation is under the three modes of material nature. And three modes are uh, pervading all the universe just like a threads in the cloth. If threads are not there in the cloth, then cloth will not exist only. So similarly, when modes were not operated in the Mahatattva, that creation was not happening only. When the three modes came, time came, Krishna as a Kala Chakra came, then everything started moving, then everything started manifesting. So these modes they manifested from the Supreme Lord, and he is not subordinate to them. Hmm. In fact, the modes are subordinate to him. Just like Prabhupada gives a very nice analogy, an example that if a king or the lawmaker they make a law, so law is for the state, the law is for the people to follow, but king is not below that. King is above that. So this is how we understand that how Krishna is above that. So here we understand how Krishna uh, is not. Uh, I was talking about pantheism yesterday, no? That everything is God. So it's not everything is God because Krishna said, I am this also and beyond this also. That is beyond modes also. So this is how, by the 12th verse, we understand pantheism is not right understanding. Krishna consciousness is the right understanding. So such kind of knowledge about Lord Krishna leads to surrender hmm, unto Krishna. But there are uh, people who are ignorant about his greatness, and that ignorance is because of living entity's attachment to his inferior material energy actually. Because we are attached to the material world, we are unable to understand the Lord's greatness, and that becomes an obstacle to surrender. So what is obstacle? Main obstacle for surrender? Surrender obstacle is this attachment to the material inferior material nature, and because of that material inferior energy, we are unable to understand the greatness of the Lord. And because we are not able to understand the greatness of the Lord, we are seeing Krishna as a normal person, and naturally, then we are not able to surrender to him. So now, Krishna had said about the he himself being distinct from his two energy, that is inferior energy and superior energy. That means all the other things as well as the living entity. Now, Lord Krishna is going to explain the importance of taking shelter. That is the next section, a subsection, the starting, the next section, taking shelter of Krishna. In that, many subsections will come. So, this uh, verses from 1 minute. Yeah, from this 13 to 19 is talking about surrendering unto Krishna. And then from 20 to 25, that talks about demigod worship, Krishna Itara, worshipping Krishna and Krishna Itara. So demigod worship and impersonalism also speaks from 20 to 25. And then from 25 onwards, we understand it is a delusion by Maya, through devotion to Maya. So 13 and 14 speaks about how Jiva, deluded by the modes, can transcend them by surrender to Krishna. And then 15 and 16 speaks about four types of people who do not worship Krishna. That is, who do worship Krishna and who do not worship Krishna. And then those who surrender to Krishna are magnanimous. That is 17 and 18 and 19. And among that, Krishna will explain about the Gyan is among them is the best. That is, a pure devotee is extremely rare. So this is what we are going to try to discuss today in today's remaining 45 minutes. So moving ahead to verse 14. Just 1 minute. I'm just moving to the next. Yeah. Sorry, not 14. 13 is remaining. Yes. Verse 13. त्रिभिर्गुणमयैर्भावैर्देवी सर्वमिदं जगत् मोहितं नाभिजानाति मामेभ्य परमव्ययम्. Yes. Shivnath Nityanand Prabhu.
Deluded by the three modes goodness, passion, and ignorance. The whole world does not know me, who am above the modes and inexhaustible.
Yeah. So Lord is above modes and Lord is inexhaustible. So Lord Krishna, he is above modes and he is inexhaustible. But people are unable to understand, as we rightly discussed, deluded by the three modes: mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Because they are deluded by three modes, they are unable to see Krishna. They are unable to see the Krishna factors in their life. So here, wonderful presentation is given in this chart. You can see. So this verse is talking about deluded by the modes, people don't know Krishna. So here we see what does it mean by deluded by the modes. You would like to read Shivnath Nityanand Prabhu? This
Means to
arrow.
identify oneself with a particular type of body and its type of psychological and biological activities, example, varna, nation, or community, etc.
Yes. So deluded by modes means we understand I am this body. And as soon as ahamkar is there, I am this body, then what happens? Person identifies with his different psychological and biological activities. And naturally, when he understands psychological and biological activities, then we start saying, अरे ये भारतीय है, ये अमेरिकी है, ये यूरोपियन है, ये वेस्टर्न है, ये इंडियन है. Or within India also, we see Varnashrama is a Kshatriya, is a Brahmana, is a Shudra, is a Vaishya. So like that, we person gets deluded by these identities. And along with that, there is Avranatmika Shakti, who make sure that they are forgetfulness, they forgetful their true identity. And then there is a Prakshipatmika Shakti. So again, they keep hitting you to make your ignorance is fully blossomed. And result of such delusion is what? Can read. So
The result of delusion, one forgets Supreme Personality of Godhead who is beyond the modes. They do not understand that behind material nature is Supreme Personality of Godhead.
exactly. So one forgets the Supreme Personality of Godhead is beyond the modes. because he's in delusion. He thinks that Arey, he's also like me only, just like we were discussing. So he cannot see that Krishna is beyond, and they they cannot understand Krishna is beyond three modes of materialization. But such person, how does the mode? Sorry, such person, how he can take shelter? That we'll see later. One small point here is how mode of goodness dilutes uh,
Limits
mode
of
of good.
absolute to be impersonal.
Yeah, read it.
Limits understanding of absolute to be impersonal and Brahman conception. It conditions one by happiness and knowledge.
Yes. So it is very difficult to understand mode of passion and mode of ignorance, but it is very easy to understand from uh, when somebody is out of the mode. So even in mode of passion and ignorance is really difficult, and goodness it is possible, but still goodness there's a factor, binding factor, that is uh, happiness and knowledge. A person feels very happy and very in a good knowledge, then that becomes a binding factor for him. Just how even if he goes to the best understanding, he will go to the understanding of impersonal Brahman only, not beyond that. So only person who is liberated is only one truly established in Krishna consciousness. We see here in this nice photo, there are five elements: fire, air, water, earth, uh, mind, intelligence, false ego, and this living entity come out of that. He's going towards Krishna, getting attracted to Krishna and Krishna's wonderful spiritual Golok Vrindavan Dham. So this is how person can be freed from this delusion. Also, Krishna says yes, Param Avyayam. Param and Avyayam. Param means it correlates with limits of the space, and Avyayam means limits with correlates with the time, limit of time. So Krishna is beyond space and time. Everything in this world creation we see, it is limited by either space or by the time. But Krishna is Param Avyayam. And these three modes of material nature, they makes our eyes completely tinted. If we are in mode of goodness, then we'll see accordingly. Uh, just like mode of goodness color is yellow, passion is red, and ignorance is blue. So this is how things happen. And we see actually the bewilderness is not only the human beings, but it comes to the even demigods actually, demigods also. So they don't get proper understanding. Even the demigod like Brahma and Shiva also has a uh, potential, or we see the pastimes Brahma Vimon Lihavala or Mohini Murti Leela, how he was not able to identify who the Krishna is properly. And also we see that in general, people may be caught up with one mode, but they may get freed from one mode and they will get caught up with another mode. Just like if somebody who is a, like, let us say, drug addict, he is very much addicted to the drugs, but that drug addict can get freed from the drug addiction by some good habits, but then again he gets hanged up into search for the another happiness. So then again it's the mode of passion on. So this is how the modes, they don't allow any person to go out of the three modes of material nature. And person is completely bound by the three modes of material nature. Going to the next, text 14. दैवी हेषा गुणमयी मम माया दुरत्यया मामेव ये प्रपद्यन्ते मायामेतां तरन्ति ते. Would like to read? Kanchandeep Prabhu.
This divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it.
Yes. So, this divine energy of mind, consisting of three modes of material nature. This divine energy of mind, consisting of three modes. Which divine energy is talking about? This Maya modes is difficult to overcome. Devi Hesha Gunamai. How she is? She is divine. She is explained as divine. Devi Hesha Gunamai. Mama Maya Durattaya. It is very difficult to overcome because it is Lord's energy. Who can overcome Lord's energy? But there is another aspect to it. Mam eva prapadyante. If somebody surrenders to Krishna, then he can cross beyond. Maya metam tarantite. He can cross beyond that also. So Maya metam tarantite. So this is how person can be freed from it. If it is, first of all, we have to understand how powerful the Maya is. Let us see that aspect first. So here in this verse, Krishna is explaining how to get free from the modes of material nature. So in this picture, you can see here Krishna is there, then Maya is there, Maya with all 10 hands, and then all living entities. How she is controlling all of them through her divine energy. So these living entities in the material world, they are called as Nitya Baddha because they are conditioned for long period of time. Nitya Baddha, eternally bound. Why it is called as Nitya Baddha? Are they supposed to be here only? No, they are not supposed to be here. They are supposed to go back home, back to Godhead. But because they are bound up for a long period of time, therefore they are called as Nitya Baddha. And for them to get out of that is very difficult. They cannot go out because they are controlled by the Supreme Lord. This Devi is directly guided by the Lord. But still she is called as divine energy. How she is divine? We see in the creation, we are as a living entities, we are troubled by so many problems by the Maya. Hmm? In fact, this with what is see, lust, anger, greed, they all are coming and they are creating so much disturbances in our execution or progress. So how can one say that Maya is divine? Actually, she is divine because she is just facilitating. She is not causing. Actually, the living entities are getting trapped into it. It's like nice example is given. This is MCQs, multiple choice questions. No, so in that three are wrong, one is right. So if there's a uh, teacher who is arranging the exams for the student and is Hare Krishna, is the sound clear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, I think some other person. Okay, you can please keep yourself mute. The teacher is designing the paper for the purpose of afflicting the student, not for the failing him. But if a student he is not conscious and he doesn't click the right choice, then he will go in the wrong direction. So who is responsible for failure? The student himself, not a paper setter, because it is expected for him to understand it properly. So here we understand actually Daivi Hesha Gunamai, the example can be nicely understood that if there's a cloud, because of cloud, sun is covered, they say. No, because of cloud, the vision is covered, not the sun is covered. It is the other way around. So three modes, this is how are covering the vision of seeing the absolute truth, and they are unable to see the Supreme Lord. And second aspect we saw is this Maya, she's a divine because she's just a facilitator. She's making sure that whatever Krishna wants, that has been taken care proper. So this is how Maya is uh, making sure that Krishna's purpose is taken care properly. So this Maya is very difficult to cross over. So one time one devotee, Prabhupada asked to Prabhupada, Prabhupada, our purpose is right, then why is Maya so strong? He thought that Krishna consciousness philosophy is so nice, and why Maya is disturbing so many devotees? So Prabhupada said, our purpose is right, but our purpose is not strong enough. So therefore, one has to be very focused. One has to be determined in execution of devotional service. Prabhupada said, devotional service is simple, not easy. Mm. Simple and easy is a difficult thing. Simple is it's very simple. If our understanding about Krishna consciousness is right and our attitude is favorable, then it's very simple. But if our understanding is not like that, then we'll get caught up. Then they'll get caught up. So Sachinandan Swami Maharaj shares one very nice example of when he was a student, he used to work part time, and then he used to go and drop the newspapers in the different houses. So he said, one time I went to one house and just threw it from distance only. And this used to fall at a person's house. And that person asked him, hey, why don't you come inside and give me? Then he said, actually, I am ready to come, but there's a very big German Shepherd in your house. I'm very fearful of it. And they said, no, no, he's tied up. He's with a chain. You can come. Next day, when Sachin Maharaj went, when he was as a boy, so he went inside and he saw that chain is there and that German Shepherd is there. So he was very happy that German Shepherd is chained properly. But he said, as soon as I went inside, I realized that he is not, chain is there, dog is there, but his dog is not chained properly. So a dog immediately jumps and pounced at this boy and he became very fearful. Then he thought how to get saved from this. Then he loudly shouted, sir, sir, I'm here. And immediately that owner came out and he said, Tommy. As soon as I said Tommy, the dog came and sat down. So Maya is very powerful, but Maya is Krishna's energy, Mama Maya. So if we surrender to Krishna, then Krishna will take care of the rest. Maya Meta Amtaran. So we have to understand what surrender means. We can see further, but we'll just briefly speak about surrender. Surrender means taking shelter of Krishna. Mm. Taking shelter of Krishna, Bhaktivinoda Thakur mentions, Anukulyasya Sankalpa Pratikulyasya Varajanam Rakshati iti Vishwaso Goptipta Varnam Tata Atmanikshepa Karpanya Shadvida Sharanagata. So surrender is very active principle, it is not passive principle. In every given choice, how we are surrendering to the Supreme, that is the surrender. What is right for going towards Krishna and what is wrong for going towards Krishna. If we understand that and we take a proper choice at right time, then actually we are surrendering. So this is a very different dynamic principle because it differs time to time, place to place, circumstance to circumstances. So therefore, spiritual life is harmonizing our will with Krishna's will. Whatever Krishna desires, accordingly, we also change our uh, desire and we try to align with him, uh, our desire with Krishna's desire. That is what is called as surrender. And surrender can be expressed through our sadhana. We sit and chant in the morning. Our mind wanders in different directions, but again and again we try to bring it back. So that is surrender and engage in Krishna's service. Surrender is also expressed through our Shravanam process. When we hear for Srimad Bhagavatam and we try to hear, but we get spaced out a little bit here and there. Again, we try to come back. That is surrender. And then again, we are rendering services. While rendering services, we get caught up by different allurements. Uh, if I'm told to do prasadam serving, then I am more concerned about what prasadam is there, whether I'll get prasadam or not, or I start eating myself. I don't serve properly. This is how I get distracted. So this is how person is become alert. No, let me focus on services. Let me focus on my sadhana. Let me focus on my duty as a student, as an employee. I'm supposed to work nicely. I'm supposed to earn properly. So this is how person surrenders to Krishna. So this is what is spoken in this verse. And then to get freed, if the solution is surrendering to Krishna. Then we see that there are many people who don't surrender to Krishna. So now Krishna will be speaking about people who are not surrendering to Krishna in the next verse. So yes, we are moving to that verse now. Yeah. Here we saw the discuss other aspect. Yeah. Mameva prapadante maya mitam tarapati. Yeah. Only Vishnu is the master of the Maya. And why the Lord Brahma and Shiva can't help? Because they are almost at the level of Vishnu, but they are incarnations of Rajaguna and Tamaguna. And they are also under the influence of Maya. Vishnu is the only person who is above Krishna. There is living entity. If he thinks that on my own I'll try to go beyond the modes, very difficult. It's impossible. But easy ways to surrender. You can surrender and go back to Godhead. Okay. Going to the next verse. That is 15th verse. Why people don't surrender? So four kinds of people who don't surrender to Krishna. Namam duskritno mudha prapadyante naradhama maya pratagyana asurim bhavamashritaha. Please read. Yes, I will prove.
Those miscreants who are grossly foolish, who are lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me.
Yes. So four kinds of people are spoken here. Who are these four kinds of people? Duskritino mudha. Duskritina means Duskriti is not good. Kriti means karya. Duskriti means wrong karya. And wrong, impious activities it does. So what is mudha? Is grossly foolish, like hard-working asses. Naradhama. Naradhama means lowest among mankind. Among the mankind, he is the lowest. Maya aprita jnana means the people whose knowledge is stolen by illusory energy. They have knowledge, but their knowledge is stolen by the illusory energy of the Lord. And then asurim bhavam ashrita, dangerous people. They are envious about the Lord and they go against the Lord's principle. They don't align their view with the Lord's view properly. So we see in detail, very nicely explained here. So this is mudha. So mudhas are grossly foolish, like hard-working asses, beast of burden. So I will prove. Could you read? I will read the title and then you read the further below. So mudas are attachment to the fruits. They are attached to the fruits.
They are fruitive workers who want to enjoy the fruits of their labor by themselves and do not want to part with them for the Supreme.
Yes. So they want to work hard and enjoy himself very nicely. Yes, I earned hard earned. Now I'll enjoy for myself. That is attachment to fruits. And they are also they don't doesn't know whom to work for. They don't know whom to work for.
Just like an ass works hard for his master, but does not know for whom he works so hard, does not know that karma is meant for yajna.
Like, yeah. So the person works hard, but he thinks that I am the enjoyer of my work. No, we have to work, but work is for yagyartha karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. So if you don't work for Supreme Lord, then it will become a source of our bondage. And even if they get a happiness, what kind of happiness they will get? I will prove.
Yes, for them, destructible material gains are life's all in all, although they enjoy a very small fraction of the fruits of their labor. Mudas work hard but sleepless nights, no time for food, suffers from ulcers, indigestion, etc. As is satisfied filling stomach by a bundle of grass, sleeping for a while under the fear of being beaten, and satisfying sex appetite at the risk of being repeated kicked by the opposite sex.
Yes. So this is the situation. Actually, what happiness is going to get is very, very meager. But still, he is going for that again and again. So level of happiness is not so good. And what is the problem they have? They have no time to hear.
No time to hear for the immortals. Night,
Yes.
night soil, not care for sweetmeats.
Yes. So that another example is given here. So they don't have time for immortal soul. They work very hard for the body, but they don't work. They don't even work. What to speak of working hard, but they don't even work for the soul. So that is mudha. And swine means hog. Night soil means mm, stool. So a hog is always attracted to the stool only, not caring for sweet meat. It is given nice gajar ka halwa is given. They will not like that. So this is what is mudha, grossly foolish like hard working asses. Next one is naradhama. So naradhama category also, this human being is lowest among the human being. So there are different categories of human beings: uncivilized, civilized, and amongst the civilized who are politically, socially, nicely following the principles of political and social and religious life. Despite having that, if somebody is not working on religious life or going back to Godhead, this is Naradhama. So purpose of religion is explained in the next point. What is the purpose of religion? They don't follow purpose of religion. To know the Supreme and man's relationship with him. That is the purpose of life. That Supreme, there is no authority about him. And civilized men to receive, to revive the man's lost consciousness of his eternal relationship with the Supreme Truth. But Naradhama doesn't work on that. He loses the chance, even after getting the human form of life, he loses the chance to revive the relationship with the Supreme Lord. Therefore, is Naradhama. And Prabhupada mentions the example that a small child in the womb of the mother, he was in great distress. And he prays, my dear Lord, please free us from this situation. I will worship him. But in again, once he takes birth, he forgets. So, although they may be very educated, they are very politically, socially sophisticated nicely, but all their education is made null and void. Mm. Although they have, but they don't know the essence of that all knowledge. That is to know the God, to develop relationship with the God, and to try to develop relationship with the Lord systematically, so that he can go back and back to God. So, system designed for the revive the lost relationship with the God is there. Mhm. If the duty of the guardian of the children to revive the dormant consciousness in them. Mhm. So, Guruna Sasyat, Pitana Sasyat, Swajanini Sasyat, Devan Tasyat. That clearly shows that it's a duty of every guardian to make sure that their children, their dependents, they develop that Krishna consciousness And this is done by the Varnashram system. The sanskaras, 10 sanskaras, Dasha sanskaras are there, more sanskaras are also there. They meant for our purification. But Prabhupada mentions that 99.9% of population is Naradhama because they lack Varnashrama system and purificatory sanskaras. So it is not there only in today's world. Therefore, people are 99.9% are Naradhamas. But they have hope. What is the hope? The mercy of devotee. Even Jagai Madai got delivered by Nityanand Prabhu. So similarly, all kinds of people can be delivered if they come in touch with devotees. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommends for Naradhama, what is the best process? Submissive hearing process. Even if he may be at any kind of any level of practice and kind of a Naradhama, but if he consciously hears, then he has a possibility to go back and back to Godhead. Unfortunate conditions of Naradhama is they refuse to give oral reception to the message of the Godhead, and thus Naradhamas neglect prime beauty of human being. So doing dutiful is very nice, but we should not neglect the prime duty. And it's important to perform our duties, but we should not neglect our prime duty. So as a learning lesson for all of us is to focus on our good sadhana, good services, attention. Whatever prescribed number of sadhana rounds and reading is there, we should try to do its best way. Whatever services we have been given, we should try to do the best way. In that way, we will be not falling the category of this Naradham. And then next is Maya Apratagyana, knowledge stolen by the illusory energy. Hmm. The example is philosophers, literary poets, but are misguided by and they disobey the Supreme Lord. So they go in different direction only. All poetry is meant for glorifying the Lord. Bhagavatam is the best poetry. Philosophy is meant to glorify the Lord. Bhagavatam is the best philosophy. Literature is meant to glorify the Lord. Even the scientific discoveries are meant to glorify the Lord. But they get misguided. Many Mendel scholars of Bhagavad Gita also fall into the category of because they consider Lord to be an ordinary human being. So people here you see in this picture, this fellow is telling most of us are of the opinion that it was the Big Bang. This fellow is sitting, he is saying, well, I am working out my own theory from these calculations. So this is all Maya Pratagyana. They create their own theories of understanding. They don't know that the blessed form of human life is designed after the eternal and transcendental features of the Supreme Lord. And they see the Lord as a normal human being, and therefore their knowledge is stolen by the illusory energy. They're in three modes of material nature. And then Asurim Bhavam Ashrita, they are solidly envious. They are solidly envious. They say, what God can give, God is doesn't exist only. They do full propaganda against the God. And they even say, if Lord, either one say that Lord is too far, he cannot descend to this material world, and some say that Lord uh, is not only God. And but they don't have any tangible reason to give that why Lord is not there, this Asurim Bhavam Ashrita. Here is a Shripatar Yamunacharya's verse. He says, how to know the Supreme Personality of Godhead? He is known, he is knowable to the person involved with atheistic principle. He is unknowable, not knowable. He is unknowable to the person involved with atheistic principle. Proofs of Lord's supremacy, we can speak so many. His uncommon communities, features, and activities. Shastras confirm that, and sadhus acknowledge that. So this is how all four Namam Dushkitano Buddha Prapadyante Naradhama Maya Apratagyanam Asurim Bhavam Ashrita. Very important verse. And towards the end of this purport, uh, Prabhupada mentions where it went. Yeah. Therefore, grossly foolish person, lowest among the mankind, and the deluded speculators, the professed atheist, As above mentioned, never surrender to the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead in spite of all scriptural and authoritative advice. So this is, and now the next word talks about who surrenders to Krishna. चतुर्विधा भजन्ते मां जनाना सुकृतिनो अर्जुन आर्तो जिज्ञासुरर्थार्थी ज्ञानी च भरतर्षभ. Would like to read Mayank Prabhu.
O best among the Bharatas, four kinds of pious men begin to render devotional service unto me: the distressed, the desirer of wealth, the inquisitive, and he who is searching for knowledge of the Absolute.
Yes. So there are four kinds of Sukritina. They were Dushkritya. Now here are Sukritinas. Sukritina means they do good qualities. They good quality work. What is their Sukruti? They are connected to, they are following some pious life. But there are four things. What is that? Qualities are mentioned that Artho, Jigyasu, Artharthi, and Gyani. So these four people, one is distressed, the desirer of wealth, the inquisitive, and who is in search of knowledge. So here it's mentioned in cyclic very nicely with the good questions. You can just go through this. So Sukritina people, they are pious, adherent of regulative principles of scriptures, follow moral and social laws, more or less devoted to the Supreme Lord. They accept supremacy of the Lord and they try to follow Supreme Lord. So I'll read the question, and Mayank, you can read the boxes which mentions there above that. So just like here, four categories of pious people. Who are they?
Arthi, distressed; Artharthi, wealth seeker; Jigyasu, inquisitive; Gyani, one who desires knowledge of absolute truth.
Are they pure devotees?
No, because they have some aspiration to fulfill in exchange for devotional service.
This is the one problem. They are not pure devotees. They have some faith, but they have a lot of aspiration to be fulfilled. Therefore, they are worshipping the Supreme Lord. So now, below, what is pure devotional service?
Render transcendental loving service favorably without desire for material profit or gain through fruitive activities or philosophical speculation.
Yes, Anyabilashita Shunyam, Jnana Karmadi Anavritam, Anukullena Krishnanushilanam Bhaktiruttama. As Rupa Goswami says, Rupa Goswami says that we should render service, loving service favorably and free from the material profit and gain. So whenever we are rendering services, we are just serving because Krishna is the loving Father, and if we serve Him without any ulterior motives, then Krishna will be happy. What are the destinies of Sukrutina?
In due course, they associate with pure devotees and get purified.
Yes. So Sukritinas, now in Kumbh Mela we are here. Yesterday, 7,100 people chanted round of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and they agreed to follow throughout their life, one round. They're Sukritina. They have come to Kumbh Mela for taking bath, but they came in touch with devotees. Now, out of this 7,000, at least 70 will surely become devotees. Manushanam Sahasreshu, they will get connected to some temple, and many have carried the Bhagavad Gita. In fact, in our temple, you see this Arun Prabhu kitchen mein seva karte hain. He is the one who got Bhagavad Gita in our Prayagraj camp only, Prayagraj Kumbh Mela only. And then he read it a couple of times. He was working nearby some Fatehpur or somewhere near Kanpur. Then he came to the Kanpur temple. He met all of the devotees, and now he is serving in temple. He is training his children very nicely. He is, uh, very dedicated. He was having a lot of opportunity to earn good money, but he chose to be very simple, grastha life and practicing nicely. So this is how their destiny is there. At what stage do Sukritinas become pure devotees?
When they are free from all material desires, when they fully understand that material remuneration has nothing to do with spiritual improvement.
Yes. So when they become free and they understand that material remuneration has nothing to do with spiritual improvement. Yes. So it doesn't depend on anything. We just render service for the pleasure of Guru and for the pleasure of Krishna. So what is the hope for miscreants in the regards to devotional service?
For them, devotional service is very difficult because their lives are selfish, irregular, and without spiritual goals. Is there any hope anytime? If by chance they come in contact with a pure devotee, they also become pure devotees.
Yes, that means we have to understand that we have to make our life very regulated, and we have to make our life selfless, not only selfish, and we have to make a life with proper goal. Uh, we have to remind goal again and again. Any activity we want to do very seriously, we should ask why I'm doing this activity. Then we'll get one answer. Again ask why I'm doing that activity. So keep asking why 5 times, then we'll get pakka answer. Hmm. So these are miscreants. Duskritino muda prapadyante naradama. Maya pratagyanam asurim bhavam ashrita. Sorry. Chaturvida bhajante mam janana sukritin arjuna. Arto jigyasu artharthi gyani cha bharatarshabha. So these four kind of people, they have hope to go back to Godhead because they are Sukrutis. So in purport, Prabhupada mentions one in between after the Annihilation hours. When these four kinds of persons come to the Supreme Lord for devotional service and are completely purified by the association of the pure devotee, they also become pure devotees. As far as the miscreants are concerned, for them devotional service is very difficult because their lives are selfish, irregular, and without spiritual goals. But even some of them, by chance, when they come in contact with a pure devotee, also becomes pure devotees. So we are so fortunate. We all should celebrate our fortune that we have come in touch with great Srila Prabhupada and his divine mission, where we are getting opportunities to practice our Krishna consciousness and perfect our life to go back to Godhead. So I think 17th and 18th we are unable to cover right now. We can cover next time. Tesham Gyani Nityaktam Eka Bhakti Visheshate. Any questions? Okay, Mayank Guru has question.
Guruji, in one of the slides, it was shown that absolute truth has is known through revealed scriptures who are in goodness, uh, and other scriptures means which are in ignorance or passion. Uh, they won't reveal absolute truth. ऐसा है क्या गुरुजी?
Naturally, because they don't speak about absolute truth, no? But they will help by following those scriptures. They will get elevated in their consciousness, and slowly, they will have a long way to go to come to the mode of goodness, and then they will
Yes, Guruji.
practice devotional service. Okay,
Yes, Guruji.
Hiranmanita. Oh, sorry, before that, Yeshwant Prabhu, no?
Yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Yeshwant Prabhu.
Prabhu, in the last verse, we have discussed that four kinds of pious people and about what is pure devotion and who is pure devotee.
हाँ,
But प्रभु जी मतलब अभी हम मतलब बेसिकली हम तो फायदा होते किसी को मतलब हम पता नहीं चलता ना जैसे हम बर्थ के बाद हम हमारा माया हमको ये थोड़ा ये कर देती है सो वी विल फॉरगेट द लॉर्ड सो उसके बाद हम जिज्ञासा और इसके थ्रू ही हम भगवान को जान पाएंगे
हम्म।
तो इस प्रोसेस में प्रभु जी हम वो पायस से प्योर डिवोटी कैसे बनना है
पायस से प्योर डिवोटी बनने के लिए सिंपल सॉल्यूशन, बी इन टच विद डिवोटीज, बी इन टच विद प्योर डिवोटीज, देन विल बिकम प्योर डिवोटी, जस्ट
बट
लाइक
प्रभु जी वो हमको कैसे पता चलता है कि वो यार मतलब हम प्योर डिवोटी बन रहा है
oh, that you will not come to know
ओके
immediately. But see, of course, we can come to know also, and we will not come to know also. We will come to know in a very preliminary stages, but advanced stages will not come to know. प्रीलिमिनरी स्टेजेस कैसे, जैसे पायस था लेकिन प्याज लहसुन वो ही वाज ईटिंग, और ही वाज जस्ट डूइंग सम टाइम गैम्बलिंग, पत्ते पत्ते खेलता था. बट नाउ आफ्टर कमिंग टू ड्यू एसोसिएशन, धीरे धीरे वो कम हो जाता है. ही वाज स्पेंडिंग वेस्ट टाइम वेस्टेज इन मूवीज and going here and there, but now he's not doing that. So this goes to show that we become purer devotee. Yesterday we were traveling in train, so three boys were sitting, typical our local boys. So they ate samosas from the vendor, and then one fellow came chai wala. Then he started counting us. बोले देखो ये स्वामी जी लोग हैं, सबको चाय पिलाओ. तो मैं उसको बोला कि अरे भाई हम चाय नहीं पीते. अरे स्वामी जी आप चाय नहीं पीते, ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है? बिना चाय पीने कैसे रह सकते हैं आप? He was so shocked. बाद में his friend was there. His friend started telling me, अरे ये लोग चाय चाय काफी नहीं पीते, प्याज लहसुन भी नहीं खाते ऐसे लोग. Then he was little shocked only. So we became purer only, no? We are our life is so pure by being in Krishna consciousness. It is unimaginable for people. अरे आप प्रसादी खाते हो, बाहर कुछ नहीं खाते हो, ऐसे कैसे पॉसिबल है? अरे कुछ तो लेना चाहिए, थोड़ा थम्स अप तो लेना चाहिए, लिम्का तो लेना चाहिए. People speak like that. चॉकलेट तो खाना चाहिए. But our duties are पक्का. So therefore, we are pure. And as we stay, we'll understand purity because we'll understand our motives are getting more purified. We see when we try to render services properly, then there are a lot of some internal challenges we face. But those internal challenges we are able to overcome, and we internally feel happy also. Just like in one Bhagavatam verse comes, Tushti Pushti Shut Apayo Nughasa. Just like now I am hungry. If I am hungry, if I go to the prasadam counter, take a plate and start eating, then what will happen? Tushti Pushti Shut Apayo Nughasam. तो तुष्टि मिलेगी मुझे, संतुष्टि हो जाएंगे, चलो भाई भूख लग गई थी अभी शांति लग रही. पुष्टि भी मेरी शक्ति भी मिलेगी, और जैसे जैसे मैं खाता जाऊंगा तो ऐसे शक्ति भी स्ट्रेंथ भी मिलेगी मुझे. So similarly, when we are performing devotional service, when we are in the association of devotees, we are chanting nicely. Slowly, we'll feel more enlightened in our lives. We'll feel more happy. We'll feel more inclined to do these services, these activities more and more. This is how we'll grow in our consciousness. Okay, Yeshwantu?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Okay. Kiran Mai Nitai Prabhu, and then Akash Prabhu.
हरे कृष्ण जी।
Yes, Hiran Mai
हाँ
Nitai Prabhu.
जी, आप कल बता रहे थे श्वेता स्वप्न सीधा उपनिषद का एक श्लोक आया था जी।
हाँ
और कल श्वेता उपनिषद का एक श्लोक आया था जी, उस
हाँ राइट, हाँ
डिस्कस कर
प्रभुपाद
रहे थे।
कोट करते राइट परपट में.
हाँ हाँ, यस भाई। तो उस पर जी भगवान का एक एक तरीके से वो रहता है, मतलब बताते हैं कि मतलब भगवान का भी एक प्रेजेंटेशन है कि मतलब उनका भाव है, दूसरा मुझे जो जीवात्मा उनके लिए है। तो मुझे एग्जैक्ट मुझे याद नहीं आ रहा मुझे, मेरा नोट्स नहीं मिला मैंने जो बनाया था, तो उसको थोड़ा सा एक बार बता सकते हैं जी डिटेल से।
Okay, 1 minute. Let me find out which was that verse. श्रोता सुतरण उपनिषद में दो जगह कोट करते प्रभुपाद जी. I remember. Anybody remember? In time I'm searching. तेरी उपनिषद श्रोता सुतरण उपनिषद.
7.7
7 point.
7.7 परपट मत्त परतरम नान्यत परपट.
Okay,
वो
I'm coming to.
इम्पर्सनलिज्म से रिलेटेड एक श्लोक था।
Right. He told now. मत्त परतरम नान्यत में है. Yes. वेदाहमेतं पुरुषं महान्तम् आदित्यवर्णं तमसा परस्तात् तमेव विदित्तं मृत्युमेति नान्यत्पन्था विद्यते यान्यः. यस्मात् परं न परम् अस्ति किंचित् यस्मिन् नान्यो न ज्ञायतोऽसि कश्चिन् वृक्ष इव स्तब्धो द्विति तिष्ठात्य एक तेनेदं पुरुषेण सर्वम्. I know that Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is transcendental to the material conceptions of darkness, only he who knows him can transcend the bonds of birth and death. There is no way for liberation other than this kind of this knowledge of Supreme Person. There is no truth superior to the Supreme Person because he is the supermost. He is the smaller than the smallest, and he is the greater than the greatest. He is situated in the is as a silent tree, and he illumines the transcendental sky, and the tree spreads its roots. He spreads his extensive energies. तो ये 7.7 में बताया गया है कि कैसे ये सुप्रीम पर्सन है। इसका ही एक वर्ष पहले कोट करते थे, जहां पर वो उसी वर्ष में थोड़ा उसके पहले 3.10 श्वेता उपनिषद में बताते ततो यद उत्तरायाम अरूपम वर्ड आता है, तद तद अरूपम अनामयम। तो वो अरूपम वर्ड को लेकर वो लोग बोलते हैं कि देखो भगवान को तो रूप नहीं है। लेकिन ये 3.10 में अरूपम वर्ड आया है, लेकिन बाद में 3 पॉइंट उसके पहले वाला 8 और 9 में ये यहाँ पर पुरुषम महानतम या पूर्णम पुरुषेण सर्वम ये वर्ड आया है। तो प्रभुपाद जी उसको लेके क्लैरिफाई करते हैं कि कैसे अरूपम मतलब एक्चुअली ऐसा नहीं कि उसको रूप नहीं है, अरूपम मतलब उसको कोई मटेरियल रूप नहीं है, उसका आध्यात्मिक रूप है। ओके ब्रो।
यस भाई, थैंक यू सो मच भाई,
या
क्लियर
विल
हो
टेक
गया।
वन लास्ट
ये
बाय
आरोपण
आकाश ब्रो।
वाला भाई, और
हाँ।
ओके, यही नहीं क्लियर था भाई ये आरोपम वाला, क्योंकि वो लोग बोल रहे थे कि रूप नहीं है, और एक ही शास्त्र में ये रूप वाला बताया है, तो
हाँ एक ही
क्लियर
जगह
हो गया
पता
फिर।
है, हाँ राइट। वहां पर वर्ड आता है अरूपम, तो वो लोग ट्रांसलेट करते हैं कि भगवान को कोई रूप नहीं है, फिर वो इम्पर्सनल है ऐसे बताते हैं। बट वेरी नेक्स्ट बिफोर वर्स ओनली वाज स्पीकिंग अबाउट द रूपम एस्पेक्ट ऑफ द लॉर्ड। यस आकाश ब्रो।
So, Prabhuji, thank you, Prabhuji, for this class. Prabhuji, you told जैसे इस श्लोक में आया था कि माया अपृत ज्ञान, जिनका नॉलेज जो है वो माया के द्वारा हर लिया गया है। सो
राइट।
आई फाइंड दैट मेनी ऑफ पीपल आर लाइक दैट इन दिस कलयुग। उनके पास अलग अलग नॉलेज है, उसके बेसिस पे मतलब सुप्रीम का नॉलेज नहीं है तो वो डिनाई करते हैं भगवान की एग्जिस्टेंस को ही। प्रभु जी, इनके साथ ऐसा क्यों होता है? मतलब माया उनका नॉलेज कैसे क्यों हर लेती है?
क्योंकि ये दुष्कृति ना है ना, दुष्कृति है। और वो नॉलेज हर लेती क्योंकि वो 3 गुण में अटके हुए है, 3 गुणों में है अटके हुए, इसके कारण स्वाभाविक रूप से अपनी इच्छा भी है उनकी। एक तो उनकी अपनी इच्छा भी है, देयर ओन डिजायर आल्सो इज देयर। जस्ट लाइक सिंपल थिंग नाउ पोएट, पोएट का बात ले लो। पोएट सिंगिंग करता है, कविता लिखता है और गाता है। तो सेम थिंग वाज डन बाय उपभरण गंधर्वा इन द डेमीगॉड्स असेंबली। ही was glorifying some local duet songs, not he was not glorifying the supreme lord, so they cursed him. So person may use his own desire to do his own activities because he like it, desire to be enjoying separate from the lord, and that becomes a cause of their bondage. This is how they got bound. So their own desire, above that 3 modes of material nature acting, and they don't have any association of devotee, therefore they get caught up. Okay Akash bhai?
सो यस प्रभु जी, तो प्रभु जी इनके लिए हो मतलब फिर क्या
इनके
कर
लिए
सकते
होप,
हैं इनके लिए?
devotees, devote is the only hope. Therefore, we should come and go to the colleges, go to the different places, distribute Bhagavad Gita, and invite them for the one-time programs, give them Krishna consciousness philosophy. Slowly, slowly, they will change. Like all of us have good understanding now that there are many students who are connected to us during device time, but slowly, slowly, they are coming down. But then many of them are also become very good supporters to it. And when they are supporting in different services, they are becoming serious also about their bhakti. So this is how we can help them. Okay.
यस प्रभु जी, थैंक यू प्रभु।
Thank you. Thank you all devotees for your patient hearing, and others whose good advice worked out very nicely. So we had without audio video, and we could have a full proper class even amidst the um, rattle dazzle of Kumbh Mela here. Thank you. We'll stop here for today. We'll meet next Monday. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. ग्रंथराज भगवद गीता की जय। हिताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। हरि हरि बोल।